Are you ready to stop questioning who you should be and start embracing who you truly are?
Hey, this is Steph, and welcome to the Together Moving Forward podcast.
A podcast helping 2S LGBTQI plus people embrace self love and self respect so you can celebrate yourself with pride. By the end of this episode, you'll walk away with how to recognize the difference between your authentic desires and the expectations others place on you, why fear and shame are often protective responses, and how to work with them instead of fighting against them, and simple daily practices that can help you strengthen self trust, embrace your LGBTQ identity, and live more authentically. Today's conversation is about stopping questioning who you should be and start embracing who you truly are. This conversation will give you practical insights and encouragement to move forward with greater confidence, self love, and pride. Hello again, I'm Steph Vachon and I'm a human being. Welcome back to the Together Moving Forward podcast. Embrace your 2S LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self love. No matter where you stand in the 2S LGBTQI plus spectrum, we are all connected. And if you ever struggle to fully love and respect yourself, you're not alone. And this podcast is here to help you. As someone who has navigated my own journey of self acceptance as a queer, I know the power of hearing voices that reflect our experiences. In this podcast, you'll hear real stories and conversations that leave you with practical tools, fresh perspectives, and the confidence to embrace who you are with pride. To start, I need to say that I'm not a psychologist, a specialist, or someone with a college degree. I'm just a regular guy here to share with all of you and support each other. I will share my journey, and we will all share journeys together. We'll learn from each other how to move forward. Today, I'm so grateful to welcome Mark Cusack, author, coach, and founder of Not Defining, a platform dedicated to supporting LGBTQ plus people on their journey of self discovery and self acceptance. Through his personal experiences and work with a global community, Mark helps people move beyond labels, overcome shame, and embrace their authentic identity with confidence and pride. In this conversation, we explore identity, self trust, and what it truly means to be yourself. So, Mark, thank you so much for being here with us today, and welcome to the Together Moving Forward podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me, Steph. It's such a pleasure.
Why do so many LGBTQ plus people spend years trying to find the right label for themselves? And what happens when we finally give ourselves permission to not have one?
I think there's an expectation, isn't there, in society that we've got to communicate our attractions or we've got to communicate our gender, who we are to society so that people can box us in. So say, okay, well, that's Steph, Steph is this. And then that
Uh-huh.
means that like they can understand us and apply a certain set of judgments about how they're going to treat us, what role we're going to have, and then everybody is happy because we all just live in this very, neat world of understanding. And that's absolutely fine if indeed those categories that society has created work for you. And a lot of people it does, and that's fine, and they serve a purpose. So labels, great. Like I use them, lots of people use them, really helpful. But for those of us who exist kind of in the middle of different terms, or we're not quite sure where we are, I think what can happen is that we start to think there's something wrong with us.
Hmm.
If I can't fit into this or this, then who am I? Because there's no script for that. Like society doesn't really know what to do with you. And so you can worry that people aren't going to accept you, you're going to lose friends, family, you're not going to be an accepted member of society. And as we are pack animals, we're tribal animals, those community societal links really matter to us. But when we start to be able to break out of those categories and those labels, what I find is that we discover our own inner guidance system, our own spirit, our own sense of self. And when we can detach from that external script for what we're supposed to be and actually look inwards and follow that internal script of how am I feeling? How do I want to be? How do I want to express myself? Who do I want to be with? Who do I want to hang around with? How do I want to dress, behave? All of these things, then you become beautifully aligned in every moment, every day with you. And that's unique. It's going to be different to everybody else. And it's a beautiful thing because then you can just flow with yourself and how you're feeling every day while using whatever term to describe yourself you happen to fancy at that time.
I just love how you explained it. It was so clear and easy to understand. Now, how old were you when you started asking yourself those questions?
Like one, I don't know, two, three,
Really?
like forever. I mean,
Oh, wow.
absolutely forever. I'm autistic as well as bi, kind of asexual, non-binary. So it was long before adolescence and like sexuality came in that I felt different. So for the longest time, I looked at the world and I saw what people wanted me to be, what's expected of me. And then I looked inside and I was like, that doesn't fit. And you have this existential kind of panic when that happens because we're like, as a child, you depend upon your parents, your family, your society to literally survive. So it made me really unstable inside. And I repressed it, I hid it, I became obsessive about it, very anxious. But yeah, for the longest time. And then, of course, sexuality and gender and everything else you can imagine came in. Took a long time.
That was really good. The way you explained it was like so clear and easy to understand. It was like perfectly. Thank you. That's great.
I'm
Okay.
glad.
You often say that not everyone fits neatly into a box. How can someone learn to trust their own experience when it doesn't match society's expectations?
I think this is a really important thing to be able to do for anyone, particularly though those of us who fall into perhaps less represented identities. And one method that I live by is actually starting really, really small. So in every moment, if you can actually just take a minute and see if you could ask your body, right, as if your body was like a different person, ask your body what would make it feel nice, like right now, not in the future, not in some big existential way, but like what right now would your body like? It seems really, really simple, but there's a point to it. And so, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm sitting forward. Maybe I'd like to kind of sit back a little bit. Like my back is wanting to just like, rest a little. Maybe like lean like that. Maybe you're a bit hungry, thirsty. Maybe you're a bit tired. Like whatever that is, see if you can give it. See if you can give your body a little bit of what it wants. And the beautiful thing about doing this every single day is that once you get into the habit of it, you will start to feel really, really good. And you'll start to feel really, really aligned with your own instinctive desires and wants and needs, your authenticity. And you'll develop a relationship between mind and the body, or the conscious logic and the instinct. And sometimes you can't do the things, right? Sometimes you need to get out and to go to work, or whatever, you're thirsty but you don't have a drink around, whatever that might be. You can't always do it, and that's okay. If you can try to give it as much as possible, then the bigger things will start to just fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
You start to build a life where you seamlessly do what makes you feel comfortable. You will start to express yourself and carry yourself and behave in like subtly different ways that just feel more natural and more confident to you. You will start to have less time for people who don't feel comfortable to you, or you don't like. And you'll start to gravitate more towards people who really bring you joy, or things that really bring you joy, or clothes that really bring you joy, music, like whatever that might be, partners, then, so it just snowballs. So if you are sitting there, you're listening to this and thinking, well, how do I do this? How do I become more myself? Start with that relationship between you and your body. Start on a very, very small scale and see what you can do to make yourself feel nice right now, today.
I love that. That's the basic of being in the present moment so much. And just starting with that little thing, like you said, step by step, then you get into the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's great. How do we know the difference between discovering who we are and trying to become who others expect us to be?
These are such beautiful and important questions. And I'm just really glad that you're asking me and letting me answer, because this is something that is so difficult for anybody. I mean, sometimes we even get into a state of denial or deep confusion, don't we? Because we think, okay, well, this is what I want to be like. Let's say, just as an example, you're a bisexual person and you're a guy and you're with a woman, and you've only ever been expected to be with a woman. And so there's a real joy and a real payoff that comes from that acceptable behavior, which can feel really real, and it is real. But the question is, how do we know that really, really, really deep down, this is what we really, really want? A lot of people worry about this, like, oh, what if it's not? So if you are experiencing that, I would say you're not alone. This is really tough, and we can never answer that question 100%. But one thing that I would invite people to do is to just notice in any decision or any confusion or any question about what you want in life, notice what excites you. Like, notice what excites you. Because the things that excite you are what you need to do. Full stop. Period. No explanation. Right? Now, there may be a story attached to it that is based in fear. That's okay. You might say, well, I really want to go out and do whatever, but I'm not sure if I can. And, but what do people think or whatever? That's okay. But if there is excitement attached to it, then it is probably what you need to try and move towards. If there is, on the other hand, a kind of, if I do this, then story,
Yep.
relatable,
Yep.
then that can be okay too. But that's maybe an indication that it's not the primary instinctive, authentic thing that you really need. A lot of time we think, okay, well, if I can be better, or if I can just have a good job, or if I can find this kind of partner, then I'll be happy, then I'll feel free, then I'll feel confident, there's a story to it. So notice what is immediate, what feels exciting to you right now. And again, it connects to having that relationship with your body. Like, when you think about something, what just feels exciting, like in the moment, with no story, that's something you should try and move towards if you can. and what has a story attached to it. Go for the first one. Again, as much as you can, as far as you can. If you can't, that's absolutely okay. Forgive yourself, take your time, but notice the difference between the two. That's what I would say.
Okay, how about somebody like me that had stories all the time? So I learned to jump off the cliff. Like what you say about the excitement, something that would excite me in whatever part of my life. I had to learn to not listen to all those stories after and just try it, even if it's not what I really want, but to stop listening to those stories because I had stories all the time and it was not nice stories, you know, they were really about fear and what if, but it all in the bad way, in the bad side of it. So I think I had to learn to really just try. And I mean, I'm not gonna die from it. Nothing, nobody's gonna wait for me with a gun. There's not, you know, just try and then see. And there's a lot of times that it didn't work out. It was not what I was looking for, but at least I tried. So yeah, what do you think about that? Like, because I understand your side of the story, but I mean, for somebody like me, that is like the hamster is going in my head 1,000 miles an hour all the time. And most of the time, it's not pretty. I have to really speak to myself.
What I'm hearing is that you've come through a lot and that it's been really hard. And so I would
Mm.
say huge respect to you because it's not easy. Like, I think the first thing is to forgive yourself, be kind to yourself. So many of us in the LGBT community, particularly those of us who have like an even less represented identity, we don't get any script, we don't get any support, we don't
Mm.
necessarily have role models, we don't have educate, like we're just plonked in this world, normally into a family that is not LGBT, and we're just like expected to deal with the hate and the fear and the
Yeah.
discrimination and the stereotyping and the ridicule. It's just like that's so hard. So the first thing I would say is like if you have those voices in your head, if you've got the hamster wheel going round, I have that as well. That is okay. Like that is okay. I think any LGBT person who gets out of bed in the morning and wakes up and just does their best is actually makes me feel emotional. It's such a beautiful thing because
Mhm.
many of us don't make it.
Yeah.
That's the real thing. So you're here and look at you. Amazing. So be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself. The other thing is you're not alone. Like there are so many people who get it.
Mm.
I have a whole online platform of tens of thousands of people who I thought never existed. I didn't think that anybody understood the way that I
Mm.
felt, and I was so wrong. So reach out to people who are there to support you because the more we can support each other, the
Mhm.
better. But the thing that I would say about those fears that come up, and this is really, really interesting, something I work a lot with my coaching clients on, and I just find it totally fascinating. So, fear comes in and we fear it, right? We don't like it. Yeah, we're like, oh, I wish I didn't have these, you said that, they're not very nice thoughts, right?
Mm.
So, what happens is we try and get rid of it, right? Or we try and push past it, we try and overcome it. That's understandable. Actually, if you can think of it in a different way, it can often transform things completely. So that fear that comes into your mind is actually there to help you.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly. Yeah, keep going.
Those obsessive thoughts, that hamster in the wheel, that shame, that anxiety, that nervousness, that whatever it might be, at some stage in your life, they came to help you. Okay? Anxiety makes you closed off, right?
Mhm.
Shame hides you, right, from view. Fear stops you from acting, right? And depression numbs you from feeling.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things have a really crucial role, and they came to you at a certain time where you really, really needed them, because we've needed to hide. We've needed to not feel. We've needed not to act, not to be who we are. And so these are all like mechanisms that your nervous system has created because it loves you unconditionally and it's trying to keep you alive. And hey, it's done a good job because here we are. So I know it's really difficult, but when those anxieties or those fears come in, if we can try to notice them and try to actually welcome them in with kindness, they will soften. Because actually, and this is how psychology works, all they ever want is to be acknowledged and appreciated and loved and heard and given permission. And once they are, they will soften because they'll go, huh, Steph has heard me. Steph gets it. Okay, Steph is in charge. But if you push against them or you hate on them, if you're mean to them, they will just harden and they'll just stay there. So try, if you can, to welcome them in with kindness and hopefully they'll soften.
Yeah, what I'll just add to this is what I've learned too is the things that scares me the most are the things I have to go and try. So like I welcome I'm freaking out. I'm like I'm never going to be able to do this, and then oh, that means I have to go and do it and try. And most of the time it's so surprising how this is what I actually had to do and how happy I am that I did it. And it gets me to go even further for other things, later in what I want to do, what I want to achieve, who I want to be. So step by step, but
What you said about step by step is really important too.
yeah.
So if you can take little steps towards breaking the fear,
Mhm.
and also if you can follow that excitement, right? So something excites you, but there's fear, okay, push past it. But in small steps, that should really, really help. Sometimes if we try to do too much, then
Yeah.
we can it can go wrong. And then we get like re-traumatized. We go way, way, way back
Mm.
because the fear is like, ha, I told you. So small steps is really, really good a
Yeah.
lot of the time. Yeah.
Many LGBTQ plus people carry shame from childhood into adulthood. What has your own healing journey taught you about letting go of shame and embracing yourself?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Shame is such a huge one. Such a huge one. Like I touched on before, every kind of emotional charge has a purpose, which was at one time needed. So for a lot of LGBT people, we carry shame. Why? Because shame was the mechanism that kept us hidden.
Mhm.
What do we do when we feel ashamed? We hang our head, right? We get small. We kind of curl up. We're like, oh, don't look at me. Don't make eye contact, right? That's like, these are all shame things. These are pretty universal when we feel shame, even in animals. For example, if your dog knows it's done something naughty, it'll be like, "Mm." So like this is such a instinctive energy that the body just instinctively understands to keep yourself small. And it's a survival mechanism. Because what happens when you're LGBT in a world where that's not safe? Well, you have to hide it. And so if you can see that shame as having been something which was trying to help you, it was trying to keep you safe, it was trying to help you to survive. And the fact that it did a really good job, then you can view it in a really, really different way. And once again, if you can welcome it in identify, acknowledge it, even thank it. See if you can thank the shame. Thank you for what you've done for me over the course of my life, for keeping me safe, for keeping me small when I needed to hide, all these things. If that can be your mindset towards the shame, trust me, you will feel so much better rather than just letting it control you. You know, you're taking a step back and you're connecting with the shame in that way. And my person, oh, I mean the shame that I felt, I can't even begin to describe. Like, yeah, I was so I was so ashamed. Little content warning. Is it okay to talk about quite dark
Of
politics?
course.
Yeah, I mean, I felt so much shame that I didn't want to be here for a very, very long time. I was suicidal for a long time. The shame overwhelmed me to such an extent that
Mhm.
it actually made me not want to be here because I was so ashamed. So that's how strong it can be. But the way that I actually broke through it was that I kind of got to rock bottom, and something really cool happens when you get to rock bottom. I don't know if you've experienced this, but there's kind of
Oh
this,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So you kind of get to the point where you kind of don't have anything to lose anymore. And you're like, okay, well, can't really go much lower. So I was like, okay, well, I can either kill myself or I can just see how it goes.
Mhm.
Like I have nothing to lose. Like why don't I just try to just be myself? Like because otherwise I'm gonna go under. So
Mhm.
and I think you can't experience that unless you've been to the very bottom. But when I hit that rock bottom, it was an amazing awakening for me because I just went, well, screw it. I'm just going to do whatever. I'm going to be who I want, dress how I want, live the life
Mhm.
that I want, I'm going to leave my job. You know, anyone who doesn't like it can F off, you know, just so I had this moment of awakening where I was like, screw it. I have nothing to lose. Let's just try. And let me tell you, the moment that I did that, life became amazing.
Mhm.
It became amazing. I have an amazing life where I do what I love and I spend time with people that I love. And 99% of the people who I thought would reject me just loved me even more. And so much of that shame was in my head. And so I would say to anybody, you know, you actually are lying to yourself. See if you can go through it because there's an amazing life out there just around the corner and you can have it.
I can relate so much to what you just said, like the rock
Yeah.
bottom thing. That happened to me where exactly it was like, okay, I choose life or I die. Like that's where I got. And once I decided that when I chose life, I'm really stubborn and I'm a hard worker. So I went like 1,000 miles into it, into my recovery, into my healing. I just went like, I'm okay, feed me, tell me what to do. I started therapy and it was like, give me all you can give me. I will do it even 10 times more, 100 times more. Yeah, my life changed. It started to change there. It was a long journey and it still is, but it's a beautiful journey now because once you hit the rock bottom, it's like, yeah, I've got to me, it was I had those two choices. And once I chose life, it was like, yeah, let's go in it.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you did. You only get one life. And
Mm.
the world can be really, really rough if you focus on rough things, but it can be fabulous. Like, it can be amazing. I always think of it like, I'm not going to ramble on about it, but I have to think about it of like, imagine you died and you went to heaven and they said, okay, you can go back to earth for like a week and just do whatever. There's no consequences. Like, it would be a wild, crazy adventure. Like, you could just do whatever. And that's how I feel at the opportunity I was given. So I'm like, just do anything, because I don't give a F about anything. It's actually the best way to be, because this world is beautiful. There's so much fun stuff in this world. You just do it. You know, just be gay, have fun, dance, like eat food, tell annoying people to get lost, and just great. Wear what you want. You can. Pretty nice.
You're making me think too is about the shame. I have dark days that it's harder, it's not always pretty. And when that happens, it's the shame from what others, taught me. And what I tell myself is like, no, they're not gonna win today. And that helps me so much. I'm like, no, they're not gonna win. Nobody's gonna win on me anymore. That's it. So it helps me to turn things around so much, because then the shame goes away, because it's not my shame. It was shame that was taught from them, but it's not mine, because I'm not ashamed of who I am. It's the opposite now. I So that helps me a lot to just say, no, you're not gonna win today. They're not gonna win. F them, like you just said. And that
Yeah,
helps me to turn things around so quickly now.
I love that. Absolutely. Because it's boring. Like, other people's views are boring. Shame, actually, you're so right. It doesn't come from you.
Yeah.
And if you actually look at psychology, it's really interesting. Like, actually, the default state for the human psyche to be in is actually a state of love and compassion and acceptance. Like that, because your body wants to survive, it wants to thrive, it wants to live, it wants to be healthy. Like, that's what it's, evolutionarily built to do. So everything in your body and all of your emotions, like they want to be good. They
Yeah.
want to feel good. So that's what they're all trying to get to. That's like your birthright. That's your nature. So you just have that inside, but it's all of the stuff that we get from outside, which makes us feel bad. But then even in the things that make us feel bad, they're built to try and help us. So shame makes us feel bad, but it's only because the shame believes that we need to hide in order to not be hurt. So your body, your nervous system, your brain, your heart just wants to be happy. And yeah, other people, it's just because they're unhappy that then they project their unhappiness on you. It's a whole big thing. So yeah, just leave it over there.
Do you know what I agree so much with you is I remember being really young and feeling exactly what you just said. Thriving, happy, creating, and all that. So when I actually started my healing process, I was able to go back into my childhood. How did I feel before it's all started? So it was just it's to go back to this, to remember things and write things down, and who was I? What did I like? How was I as a kid? That really helped me get back into reclaiming who I am today. So I could not agree even more than what you just said. It's pretty great.
That's beautiful. I'm glad that you've found that.
If someone listening today feels confused about their sexuality, gender, or identity, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know. And if you are listening, hello. Thank you for listening this far. I would want you to know that number one, you are not alone. Even if you think you're alone, you're not. Number two, don't let anybody tell you how you're going to heal. Don't let anybody tell you what your path is going to look like. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to tell you, oh, you're just gay, or you're just straight, or you're just this, or you're just confused, or you need to end up with this type of person, or you need to dress this type of no. Hard no. Forget anything again which doesn't excite you, doesn't feel instinctively nice to you. Leave it to the side. Your path is going to be different from everybody else's. So take as much time as you need. Try and be patient with yourself. This stuff is hard, really hard. And trust in yourself. Again, like we said, trust in those parts of you that feel excitement. If there is fear, that is okay. That is normal. It is there to protect you. See if you can just let it be. Just let it in. Remember that it's there to help you. Welcome it in with kindness. But see every single day, if you can, follow those parts of you that feel excited just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, even if you do it just a little bit, even if you're like, oh, sure, I'd really love to just go and sit down, but there's like someone there and they need to move aside. Like I literally did this yesterday. I was like, oh, I want to sit on that seat in this public place, but they kind of, and I feel bad about asking to move. Just see if there are little moments where you can just do something nice for yourself. Ask that person to step aside. Oh, I'd really like to have that chocolate brownie, but it's a bit expensive. But just have it if you can. If you can't, fine. Do those little things. Follow your excitement and trust it, because that is the key to everything that you ever wanted. So take a time. It's okay. Connect with other people who get you. And yeah, don't give up.
Yeah, I was gonna say find your community, find people like you. It's so important because, like you said, we're not alone, but we have to go out there and reach for them too, and surround yourself with people that are like us. That helps so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we have the internet.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, like 5,000 years ago, there wasn't social media, there wasn't the internet. Like, for example, Not Defining exists for that. So we can now connect with people who get us. And so, yeah, come and connect and just find your people. Don't waste time with annoying people who bring you down,
Exactly.
or don't do it.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. This was amazing. Now, where can we find you and find everything we want to know about you?
Where can you not find me, Steph? I'm everywhere. I'm like a rash. So basically, if you search for Not Defining, all one word, Not Defining, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/not defining, where you can chat with me. We have group sessions. We have chat forums. I put lots of different content. That's our little private community. You can also read my book if you like reading. It's called Fluid, a guide for people with flexible sexuality, by Mark Cusack. You can just put Mark Cusack Fluid and it will be in most of the places where you can order books anywhere around the world. But yeah, Not Defining or Mark Cusack, and you're sure to find me.
Well, all the info is going to be in the bio of this episode also. So, yeah, just reach below. Thank you so much again. This was great.
Thank
And
you.
maybe one day I'll meet you in person. That would be great. You're in England, right?
Yes, I am in Liverpool, just the kind of Midlands of England. So
Yeah, I'm a little bit far, but we never know. Maybe in an event for our community, or well, I'm in
wait,
Canada, Montreal.
oh, you're in Montreal.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw the French ness, but then I was like, I don't think he's in France.
No,
So
that's why. Yeah, French is my first language, and I speak mostly French all day long. So sometimes that's why. Actually, today was not that bad. I did not stumble too much. So it happens sometimes, but I speak French
yeah,
mostly. So
il n'y avait pas aucune erreur.
okay. Oh,
Yeah. On pourrait faire un podcast en français
oh, ça serait bien.
à l'avenir, peut-être.
Oh,
Ça
maybe yeah,
serait,
maybe later. On pourrait faire
yeah,
ça en français, en faire un en français, ça serait bon.
pourquoi pas. Ça, tu vas me voir faire plein d'erreurs, mais voilà, on peut voir.
That would be cool. Okay, well, thank you. That was great.
This was really, really lovely, and I do a fair amount of podcasts and interviews, um, and I wanted to say that I really enjoyed this whole experience. So thank you. This is like a really lovely thing you're doing. So
Well, thank
appreciate it.
you. I take it really nicely. That's really nice of you to say.
Wow.
Okay, well, it was lovely. Thank you so
Avec
much,
plaisir.
Sammy. Peut-être une autre fois. Yeah.
Bonne journée. All right. You take
Okay.
care.
You too. Bye.
Bye for now.
Today, we explored how to recognize the difference between your authentic desires and the expectations others place on you, why fear and shame are often protective responses rather than enemies to fight, and simple daily practices that can help you build self trust, embrace your LGBTQ plus identity, and live more authentically. Remember, your journey is your own. There is no right timeline, no perfect label, and no single path to self acceptance. What matters most is learning to trust yourself, taking small steps toward what feels true to you, and giving yourself the grace to grow along the way. I'm always looking for inspiring guests for the podcast, and I'd love to have you or someone you know share your journey with pride. The world needs your story. It has the power to change lives, and your voice matters. Reach out and send me an email today. Also, I'm now booking keynote speaking engagements. My talk is From Survival to Self Love: How I Finally Learned to Embrace My LGBTQ Identity with Pride, and how you can too. Details at togethermovingforwardpodcast.com under speaking. It is already time to say au revoir just for now. Join me every Monday for brand new episodes of the Together Moving Forward podcast and learn how to embrace your true LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self love. Wherever you're from in the world, we are all connected. Remember, solidarity beats hate. The more we unite, the stronger we become. Because at the end of the day, we are all equally human and we all deserve the same rights. Before we close with our weekly positive thought, I want to tell you what this one personally means to me, especially with this episode. I am perfect just as I am. For me, this affirmation is a reminder that I don't need to fit into anyone else's expectations to be worthy. I don't need the perfect label, the perfect story, or the approval of others to know who I am. So much of our journey is about learning to trust ourselves instead of trying to become who others think we should be. There was a time in my life when I believed I had to change, hide parts of myself, or prove my worth to be accepted. But healing taught me something different. It taught me that my value was never determined by other people's opinion. It was always there. So when I say I am perfect just as I am, it doesn't mean I'm perfect in the sense that I never make mistakes or that I don't continue to grow. It means that at my core, I am already enough. I am worthy of love, respect, and belonging exactly as I am. And the same is true for you. No matter where you are on your journey with your LGBTQ identity, no matter what fears, doubts, or questions you may be carrying right now, you do not need to earn your worth. You do not need to become someone else. You're allowed to be yourself, to take up space, and to live your truth with pride. Now is the time to put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. Yes, you and me together. This week, positive thoughts. I am perfect just as I am. Yep, I am perfect just as I am. From shame, guilt, silence, and rejection to pride, freedom, healing, and love, together moving forward. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for sharing this journey of growth and love. I truly appreciate you. See you real soon. Ciao. Do you know anyone in the LGBTQ plus community who feels disconnected from their true self, wishing they could embrace their identity with confidence and pride? Share this episode now and help them step into self-love and self-respect so they can truly celebrate who they are with pride, feel empowered, and make a real difference in our community.